Hi, my name is Jennifer Dickey, and I'm a consultant with HR Performance Solutions. Thanks so much for sitting with us to review the Planning Pro demo today. Great leaders like you know where the credit union is, where it is going, and where you want it to be, also known as the vision. And to become a reality, you need a strategy on how to best get there, one that's communicated with clarity and provided a clear roadmap of how to achieve success. And that's where Planning Pro comes into play. So let's take a look at that and what Planning Pro can do for you. Planning Pro will close that gap. It's designed to help leaders like you close the gap between the strategy and actual execution. It creates a sense of accountability. It inspires ownership and accountability to support plan success, organizational visibility, and provide individual sense of purpose. It also helps to execute and engage your teams. With Planning Pro, you can now enable your team to be part of the actual execution. It allows them to focus on executing plan initiatives rather than the day-to-day managing them. And everyone wants results. The reports and communication tools within Planning Pro allows immediate access to monitor progress. It ensures your plan's momentum is continually moving in the right direction. So we all know how important reporting is, right? And reporting in terms of Planning Pro, it allows to support the confidence that your board has in your leadership and your ability to steer the credit union in the right direction. Planning Pro gives you two different options on creating reports from a strategic and a progress updating perspective. You can create the reports to be as detail-oriented or create them to communicate a more high-level perspective. So what we're seeing right now is a progress report created from Planning Pro. And when we take a look at that, this particular report includes corporate statements, some strategy updates, key performance indicators, and benchmarks. This page communicates the actual corporate statements of an example credit union, and then it's going to communicate the actual strategy updates with our first objective of growth and viability. The strategy supporting growth and viability is membership growth, and we can see the due date. We can see the individual primarily responsible for driving membership growth, and we can see the individual that is supporting Dennis's cause in driving membership growth. In a progress report, you can also include a narrative update, and you can also see the tactics supporting membership growth. It also communicates whether these tactics are on target, whether they're at risk, or whether we have areas of failure and we need to, start to implement some course correction. So as we go through these reports, you can see the different areas that can be included to communicate success and some challenges. Key performance indicators communicate the measurements of success that support in your strategy. And then you'll also see some benchmarking information that might be helpful to your credit union to identify how you're doing in comparison to other credit unions. You can create peer groups within Planning Pro, and you can create as many peer groups as you want to. Then you would identify what areas do you want to benchmark against those particular peer groups that you've selected and created. The peer group information comes directly from the call report, and it's uploaded automatically to your system on a quarterly basis. The information that you select for your peer group and your benchmarking information is then communicated in graphs within the reports if you do select to do so. So that's just an example of how it can be communicated in the reporting system. And again, there's definitely a number of ways to do so for the reports, and you can select to do it as your board likes to see it or how your board would like to see it, high level or detailed. What we're looking at now is the dashboard of the actual System Planning Pro. What's nice about that dashboard is that you can customize that dashboard for the information that's most pertinent to you. For this example, we're looking at our key performance indicators on the top for growth and viability. If we wanted to look at another objective in the key performance indicators, we'd simply click on that drop-down and identify the objective that we would want to select. Key performance indicators also has the status of each of the measurements over here on the right. Objectives are listed below. These are each of the areas of focus that the credit union is focusing on. And then it also communicates those primary individuals that are responsible for helping to drive each of those objectives. So every year you go through that planning process. Maybe it's with your leadership team and your management team, and then your board approves the actual strategic plan. So now we need to put that plan somewhere so that we can actually start the execution process and the process of accountability. How are we doing on that plan? That's where we're going to come to the strategic plan section right over here on the left-hand side of the toolbar. And we're going to actually design that strategic plan, and we're going to develop it and put it into the system. When you develop the strategic plan in Planning Pro, you're going to identify which areas offered to you within the system are going to be most pertinent to you. Are you going to add your corporate statements, your objectives, goals, tactics, and KPIs, or are there certain areas that are only pertinent to you based on your particular planning process? And then also note that all of the vernacular and terminology that you see here can be customized to the terminology that you use within your planning process. So your corporate statements would be added here, and then you go step by step by step. So your objectives, for example, you'd click simply here, and you'd add each of the objectives that your credit union is focusing on for the year, or 3 years, or even 5 years. To add an objective is so easy. You simply click on the Add Objective. You add an objective title right here. You add any descriptions, and then you'd add a due date. A lot of times you'll have objectives that simply can't be accomplished within 1 year, right? So maybe those objectives need to be ongoing. There's an option to be able to do that right here. You identify who that primary individual is that's going to be driving that objective, and then identifying those supporting secondary team members. And note that you can add as many secondary team members as needed. Resources can also be added from your own internal resource library. And then you would continue on with that process. It's a cascading process, so you would simply click on each of these to add the goals, tactics, and then your KPIs to create your strategic plan. So once everything is added for your strategic plan, now we need to update it. It's being executed. We need to know what's going on. Are we successful in achieving the objectives, in achieving the goals, tactics, and KPIs? Individuals responsible for their assignments will come right to an update strategic plan. You can have different views if you choose to have those views. You can have managers assigned to different assignments only see what's assigned to them, or you can have them see everything that's assigned out so that everybody's on the same page. So if I come in here and I want to make an update to membership growth, I'm going to simply click on the actual tactic title or even the link to recent updates. It's going to take me directly to that tactic where I can provide an update to my plan owner on the status of what's going on. I'm going to provide an update. I can include a link to another document, and then I'm going to click on the appropriate status of this particular tactic. Clicking update will then save that update and automatically sends a notification to my plan owner that this tactic has been updated. All updates include a history, so you'll always know and be able to access any of those updates right down here. So anything that has not been reviewed will be under pending, anything that has been accepted will be under accepted, and anything that has been rejected will be under your rejected file. As a plan owner, you'll come to review the strategic plan, and this is where you'll come to review any updates that have been made or send reminders to those individuals that need to come in and make some plan updates. So again, we can keep the momentum of this plan, keep the plan moving in the same direction towards the success that we need it to go in. Again, you have the two options of the strategic plan report or your progress report. Your strategic plan report being a little bit more detailed than your progress report. And in creating each of these reports, it's very, very simple. You can click on what you want to include and simply click off what you don't want to include in the report. Just to give you an idea of what that would look like. We're going to go to Develop Progress Report. You would include a title right here, click on Next, and then very similar to how you actually input your actual strategic plan into the system, you would go through the same process. You click on what you want to include, click off what you don't want to include. And it's a step-by-step process. There's never any guessing as it walks you through each step of the process. If you want to include your goals updates and you want to make sure that you're including all of your goals and all of your tactics, no action is necessary. Simply make sure that both boxes are checked. If you know that your board simply wants to focus on one particular area, you would deselect either of these boxes and then go right to that particular area and indicate what you want to select and what will be uploaded into your report. Once everything's identified that you want to include in your report, it will be created and you can export it into a PDF or a PowerPoint, and it can be emailed right from the system to either your board, your management team, or to whoever you need it to go to. It also keeps a history of all of your reports right within the system. So your board will always have access to the most up-to-date reports because sometimes there's always some sort of last-minute change and they're going to need that most recent, most up-to-date report. You may have some board members that may not want a PDF, or maybe they don't want a PowerPoint. Maybe they want access directly to the system and they want to just peruse through what's going on with the KPIs within the organization. We just want a quick review. At a glance presentation is going to provide them that nice overview. And they can simply click on Key Performance Indicators, review what they want to see, and they're going to get that quick and easy update. If they need a review of, okay, what are the areas of focus again, they can go to the Key Priorities matrix and look at that objectives wheel, and they can break it down very simply here. Okay, they know that we're focusing on growth and viability as the objective, but what were the actual goals under growth and viability? And then what were the actual tactics under membership growth? So it's a real nice visual for board members as well. So again, Planning Pro is a great way for credit unions to be able to execute plans, track that performance, and engage stakeholders. And we love that our credit unions view Planning Pro as a tool as opposed to an added process. So thank you so much for viewing our demo. And if you should have any questions, we encourage you to reach out to us. We'd love to walk you through the system, and we can't wait for you to start utilizing it. Thanks so much.